We're going to call to order our first hearing of the evening. This is the 7:30 evening hearing, and this is on the application of Lynn Averill. The application is dated March 23rd, 2015, and Ms. Averill is seeking a special permit from the terms of Section 3A9 of the Milton bylaw so as to create a 460-square-foot temporary in-law apartment in the basement of a single-family residence which is located at 157 School Street, which is located in a residential B district. My name is John Leonard. I'm chairman of the Board of Appeals. With me tonight, to my immediate left, is board member Virginia Donahue King, and to my immediate right is board member Emmanuel Alves. The rules of the board are such that we'll hear from the applicant, we'll hear from anybody present who wants to ask the applicant any questions, we'll hear from any person present who wants to speak in support of your application, and any person who wishes to speak in opposition to the application. We're tape recording the proceeding this evening, so that we'd ask that before you speak, tell us your name and address. Speak up nice and clear and loud. We've got a fairly big room here, so that your testimony will be accurately recorded. I'll summarize the advertisement. As part of the evidence at this hearing, we're going to have the application that Ms. Averill filed. It's dated March 23rd, 2015. We have a denial letter by Mr. Prondak, our building commissioner. It's dated March 4, 2015. And we have a series of plans. Looks like it's in at least 2 sheets showing Ms. Averill's basement as it presently exists and how it will exist if you get permission to do the in-law apartment. So with all of that, there's a fairly short preamble. Welcome to the Board of Appeals.
Thank you very much.
And why don't you tell us about your application and
Sure.
why the board should, in your opinion, allow this application?
I will. So I'm Lynn Ann Averill, and I live at 157 School Street in Milton, and I am applying for a temporary apartment for my father, who is 83 years old.
Oh, God bless him.
Yes, and he is getting on in years and has mild dementia, and I would like him under my roof as opposed to having him live on his own.
And is he presently living on his own?
Presently lives on his own on 11 Windmere Road in Milton.
And what is your dad's name?
Warren Francis Averill.
And is he the only person who's going to be living in this temporary apartment if you get the special permit?
Yes.
Okay. Are the plans that you've submitted to the board true and accurate depictions of your basement as it presently exists and how you intend to build it out?
Yeah, there's no building out. It's within the confines of the foundation.
Yes.
So yes, that's Mark
But you're
Palmstrom.
putting in a kitchen and
Yes, a small kitchen, not like a full kitchen.
some closet space.
Yeah, and there's some closet space and a handicapped accessible bathroom.
Sure. So that's an accurate depiction
Yes,
of what you
yeah,
intend
that's
to do?
the contractor's depiction of what he would do to the space if the Board of Appeals grants.
Okay. Have you had a chance to look at our rather complicated bylaw dealing with in-law
So
apartments?
yes, that's the 8-page letter that you sent me, or 9-page letter.
Well, we didn't send it, but somebody else must have. It must have been
someone-
Mr. Prondak.
Yep, Mr.
Okay.
Prondak said so in his letter.
Yes, he sent me the letter. I did read it.
Okay, great.
I
And-
understand it. It's-
So there are a lot of very technical requirements that you
Right.
have to submit annually to Mr. Prondak that it's still being used in accordance with the special permit. And,
Right,
you can't have other people living in there. You can't have tenants in there.
correct, yeah.
And if your dad moves out of the in-law apartment, then you have to return the basement premises to its pre-existing state.
I thought it was just the kitchen.
Well, you'd have to remove the kitchen, yes. I mean, you could leave the closets in
Yeah,
there
that's
if you wanted.
right.
It couldn't be, in other words, it couldn't be living quarters.
Correct, right, but it
Okay.
could be like a family room.
Sure, it could
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
absolutely.
Okay.
It just couldn't be used for living quarters for other relatives.
Correct, correct.
Or for tenants. Or
Correct,
whatever.
yes.
Okay, great. Let me ask my colleagues whether they have any questions. Mrs. King, do you
I
have any
don't.
questions of Ms. Averill? Mr. Ellis?
Just one, is your father driving still?
No.
He's not, okay. So there are not going to be any additional vehicles parked in,
No. He hasn't driven for probably last summer.
no other questions?
And is your dad living alone at the present time?
He is with caregivers.
Okay. Great. Do you have anything else you'd like to add in support of your application?
I don't think so.
Great. Let's see if there's anybody present here in this enormous crowd who has questions regarding this application. Is there anyone present this evening who has questions of the applicant regarding this special permit application? There's no such person present. Is there anyone present who would like to speak in support of this application for an in-law apartment for Ms. Averill? And you have no support.
They're at home.
Is there anybody who wishes to speak in opposition to this application? And there's no such person present. So unless you have anything else to add, we'll close the hearing. And under the open meeting law, we're required to discuss your application in open session
Okay.
and vote on it.
Okay.
And we intend to do that here and now.
Okay.
Great. Mrs. King, please.
Well, this certainly comes under the size requirements that's needed and so forth. It's a worthy idea to have Dad stay at home with you, and I'm all for that. I sometimes see that might be happening with all of us at some points too. So,
Don't look at me when you say that,
no,
Jenny,
no.
please. You're scaring me.
I'm scared myself. So I would be in favor of.
Mr. Alice,
Thank
please.
you.
I would as well. I think
Thank
the need
you.
is established, the application is merit, I'd be inclined to vote in favor.
Well, great. I thought, Ms. Averill, you presented a very wonderful application. Your application is full and complete. The drawings are great. You've certainly told us of the need for your dad, and I'm sure it's not only a benefit to your dad, but to your family, to have
Exactly,
him
yeah.
living there. You'll have a greater sense of comfort and being able to attend to his needs. So I fully support this application. So
Thank you.
all those in favor of the application for a special permit, please say aye.
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 Okay, the way this goes down, we have to prepare a written decision.
Okay.
Usually takes us a couple of weeks. It has to be signed up, so that takes a few more days. And then it has to be filed with the town clerk.
Okay.
And even though there's nobody present here who spoke in opposition to your application, there's still a 20-day appeal period before the special permit becomes operative,
Okay.
legally binding, okay? And just be sure you record a copy of the special permit in the Registry of Deeds
Okay.
so that your special permit is legally effective.
Okay.
And you should do that fairly promptly. Just speak with Mrs. Fitzgerald or Mr. Prondak, and they'll tell you how to file it or where to file it and what the
Okay.
applicable fees are, okay?
Okay.
And if you have any questions as you go along with this special permit, certainly talk with either Ms. Fitzgerald or Mr. Prondak, and they'll be happy to help you out.
Okay.
Let me ask you one question. When were you intending to do this? Sooner rather than later? Or?
Well, it was waiting on the, this meeting,
Okay.
and then the 20 days, and then, all the time periods that you had to wait. So, we're ready to move forward. As far as I'm concerned, I'm ready.
Okay. Well, you can't formally, secure the special permit and the building permit before the 20 days, okay? But
Okay.
there are other things that you may be able to do or have your contractor do, such as do prep work.
Yeah, I think he can
and that
do
type
some
of thing.
demo or
So
something
you,
like
yes,
that.
so just
Yeah.
talk with Mr. Prondak, and that's between you and he. And
Okay.
you may be able to get some work done. And we'll try to crank this out
Thank you.
sooner rather than later.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Great.
Thank
Nice-
you for your time.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for the cookies, but I'm going home for cake, so I can't have any.
Well, enjoy the cake.
Alrighty, it's about 7:42. Our next hearing is 7:45, and technically we can't start that hearing until 7:45. I see the applicant's present. Is Mr. Dunn going to be present tonight?
No, he is not.
He's not. Okay, that's fine.
Can you do this, John?
Oh, thank you, Manny. So we'll wait about 3 minutes and we'll get going on your application. Thanks, Manny.